June 2018, weeks after the royal wedding. 4 people sit down for tea at Kensington Palace. William, Kate, Harry, Meghan. The meeting is supposed to heal the rift. Instead, according to a new bombshell book, Meghan snapped at the future king. "If you don't mind, get your finger out of my face. This is what really happened behind palace walls." Tom Bower's reputation for exposing royal secrets is well established. His latest book, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, appeared in Yucca bookstores on March 26, 2026, following serialized excerpts in the Times on March 13th and 14th. Bonnier Books, UK, who published his previous bestseller, Revenge, again managed the release. Bower's method is defined by rigor. Promotional materials and his own statements highlight a process rooted in documentation and cross-examination, not rumor. For Betrayal, he conducted over 70 interviews with palace insiders, advisors, and those close to the royal family. Each major claim, he says, is supported by at least 2 independent sources, often with written statements. The manuscript underwent extensive legal review, a step confirmed by Bonnier Books UK, who require source lists and legal vetting for any contentious material. The British Library and WorldCat both catalogue the book, confirming its publication details. Bower's earlier work, Revenge, relied on court records and confidential correspondence, establishing a pattern of thorough research. For Betrayal, Bower and his agent describe a process of cross-referencing oral accounts with public records and archived media. Despite these safeguards, the book's authority is fiercely contested. Within a day of serialization, Harry and Meghan condemned betrayal and threatened legal action while the royal household remained silent. June 2018 found Kensington Palace bracing for what many insiders believed could be a turning point. According to Tom Bower's book, the Cambridge's sprawling 20-room apartment was chosen for a private afternoon tea, an attempt to cool tensions that had simmered since Harry and Meghan's wedding just weeks before. The guest list was as exclusive as it gets. Prince William and Catherine, hosting Prince Harry and Meghan. No aides, no cameras, just the 4 of them, gathered in the drawing room where royal protocol normally reigns. The stakes went well beyond polite conversation. Bower claims both couples arrived with unspoken grievances. William and Catherine, still adjusting to the Sussexes' new prominence, were reportedly eager to restore calm and unity. Harry and Meghan, fresh off their honeymoon, were said to feel misunderstood and isolated within the palace walls. The tea was framed in Bower's account as a chance to heal, a moment for bridges to be rebuilt, not burned. The setting itself added pressure. The Cambridge's apartment, with its high ceilings and formal decor, had seen countless royal gatherings. But this was no ordinary visit. According to Bower, every word carried extra weight, as if the future of the family rested on what happened behind those closed doors. The hope, at least in theory, was reconciliation. Yet as Bower's reporting and later accounts would allege, what began as a diplomatic gesture soon spiraled into confrontation, a bombshell moment that would be debated for years to come. The drawing room at Kensington Palace, usually a stage for polite ritual, became the backdrop for what Tom Bower describes as a bombshell confrontation. According to Bower's account in Betrayal, the atmosphere was tense from the start. The 4 royals, William, Catherine, Harry, and Meghan, sat around the low tea table, the air thick with unspoken grievances. The meeting, meant to heal wounds after Harry and Meghan's wedding, quickly lost any sense of calm. Bower claims the conversation spun out of control, voices rising as frustrations surfaced. The book alleges that William, trying to make his point, gestured with his hand. Meghan, reportedly exasperated, snapped back, "If you don't mind, get your finger out of my face." This single line, as told by Bower, cut through the room and left a stunned silence. Harry, the book claims, watched without saying a word. Catherine stood apart, her expression unreadable. The moment, according to Bauer, marked the collapse of any hope for reconciliation that afternoon. No audio, transcript, or official record of the exchange has ever surfaced. The palace, when pressed, refused to comment on what it calls private family matters. The Sussex camp, for their part, dismissed Bauer's version as deranged conspiracy and melodrama, insisting that those interested in facts should look elsewhere. Still, Bauer's alleged quote has fueled debate, raising the question, did this meeting seal the rift for good, or is the truth still locked behind palace doors? The only certainty is that, from that point on, the divide between the couples only widened. Doubt and suspicion had been brewing long before the doors closed on that Kensington Palace tea. According to Bauer, William's unease about Meghan's place in the family started well ahead of the wedding. The book claims William privately warned Harry that Meghan might struggle to fit into royal life, confiding to aides that the pace of the relationship left him deeply concerned. Catherine Hutt, too, is said to have voiced her own caution, reportedly telling a confidant that the family needed to guard against disruption and preserve cohesion above all. These warnings, Bauer alleges, weren't just idle chatter. They reflected a growing anxiety among senior royals about the future of the monarchy itself. The Queen's private views, as reported in the book, added another layer to the tension. In one of the more startling claims, Bauer writes that Queen Elizabeth described Meghan as being used as a pawn, and according to a separate source, even suggested Harry had been brainwashed. These remarks, allegedly whispered to senior aides, have never been confirmed by the palace. Still, they capture the sense of alarm swirling behind palace walls in 2018. The Queen's supposed comments, if true, point to a belief that the family was being pulled into a drama far larger than any single argument. None of these warnings were ever addressed publicly. The palace stuck to its policy of silence, refusing to comment on private family matters. Yet, according to Bauer, the skepticism from William, the caution from Catherine, and the Queen's alleged remarks all set the stage for what happened at that tea. The confrontation, as the book tells it, was not an isolated explosion, but the boiling over of months of mistrust and whispered fears. Whether these claims reflect the full truth or not, they reveal just how fragile the royal alliance had become, long before anyone raised their voice in that gilded drawing room. The threat of losing royal titles and privileges carried consequences far beyond pride. According to Bauer, the Sussexes faced not just a family feud, but the risk of a financial earthquake. The book claims Prince Harry confided fears that, if William became king, Archie and Lilibet's titles could be stripped, removing not only status, but a key part of the family's future. Analysts cited by Bloomberg estimated that the loss of a royal title could slash annual charitable income by up to £2 million, based on historic donation patterns seen after Prince Andrew's demotion. A separate Deloitte projection, referenced in the book, suggested that the Sussex brand could take a £5 million hit in lost licensing and partnership deals if their children's titles were revoked. These numbers, though debated, gave the stakes an edge. For Harry, the prospect of seeing his children shut out of the royal fold was about legacy and security as much as emotion. The Sussex camp has rejected these claims, insisting that their focus is on service, not status. But according to Bauer, the fear of financial and symbolic loss haunted every conversation behind palace doors. The Sussexes wasted no time firing back. Within hours of the book's serialization, a spokesperson for Harry and Meghan blasted Tom Bauer's claims as a deranged conspiracy and melodrama that has long crossed the line from criticism into fixation. Their statement, echoed in both People and The Guardian, insisted that anyone searching for real facts should look elsewhere. The couple's legal team issued a formal notice to the publisher demanding evidence for every allegation and warning of possible action if the claims proved defamatory. Meanwhile, Kensington Palace refused to be drawn in, sticking to its script: no comment on private family matters. The public, though, was far from silent. A YouGov poll released the week after publication found that 55% of respondents believed the rift between the Sussexes and the rest of the royals was now irreversible. The divide between the families had spilled into the court of public opinion, with no sign of a truce. For now, the truth behind that bombshell tea at Kensington Palace remains locked behind closed doors, and the question of who to believe is left hanging. Today, the palace rift still dominates headlines, fueled by Bower's bombshell claims and the Sussex camp's fierce denials. Allegedly, one tea-time confrontation changed royal history. The real impact? Every new leak and rebuttal keeps the monarchy's private drama public, making reconciliation feel further away than ever. Share your thoughts below.